Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the VisionGATE channel. In the past, we've got to you various different candidates who have excelled at GATE, gotten amazing ranks, have pursued flagship programs at IISc and different IITs. So, obviously, today is going to be no different. But this story is going to be slightly different in the sense that not only has our guest today gotten an amazing GATE rank in his third year, no less, but he's not a very one dimensional person. So, he didn't stop at doing amazing at GATE. He broadened his horizons further and pursued not one, not two, but three internships during his final year. So I am extremely happy to introduce to you today Numair Syed, a student of VisionGATE, who got a rank of 148 in GATE Computer Science 2024 with just 1 year of preparation. And in his fourth year, he pursued various other internships and various other things that interested him regarding machine learning and computer vision and many other offshoots. And I am extremely, extremely happy to introduce you. So many congratulations, Numair.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here.
I am also wanting to tell you that his list of successes doesn't stop there because he got an amazing rank of 148 in his third year. He has gotten the admit from IISc CSA program, the flagship program at IISc. So more congratulations in order for you, Numair.
Thanks to you. All credit goes to VisionGATE, RSV sir, and you as well.
Oh, you are too kind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I want to talk a little bit about your entire journey because it is just so different and just so inspiring. And I think it will inspire a lot of people to actually steer their direction in the correct way. So, let's start from the very beginning. At what point did you decide that you wanted to pursue GATE?
It was rather an accident that I started coming to VisionGATE. So my father, he researched about GATE. So actually there was someone from our family who got into IIT Bombay and then Microsoft through GATE as well. So she had a very good rank, around 53. So my family was kind of inspired from them, motivated. And then my father wanted us to do GATE as well. So he researched and he found out VisionGATE is something really different and nice. And then we wanted our sister. She was 1 year elder than me, so we were at Thane branch to enroll her. But then sir asked me what am I doing and in which year I am. So he told me this was the perfect time for me to join. And even I wanted some nice intuitive explanation about some of our subjects, which is taught rather old fashioned in Mumbai University. I wanted
Yeah,
to have more light on it, so I thought, why not? Let's just study
give it a
GATE,
go.
see what happens. Yeah.
Wonderful. So that's how you decided. So you knew that you wanted to continue in the technical realm itself. So you do not want to pursue like a cat or something that's not. You wanted
No,
to continue in computer science.
only computer science based subjects, data structures, definitely, group theory, and all these things were absolutely exciting. Not at first because we didn't know about it, but as soon as I started learning from RSC sir, you know
Yeah.
how it was.
Oh, of course I do. Wonderful. So you found out about no, so you knew about Gate and then you found out about Vision Gate.
Yes.
So when did you join Vision Gate?
In around February 2023 when I was in my second year.
Second year, fourth semester. Okay.
Correct.
So February 2023. And then in Feb 2024, you gave GATE and got a rank of 148. So that's exactly 1 year of preparation then.
Exactly 1 year of preparation. Correct.
Wonderful. So we'll dig a little bit deeper into your GATE preparation timeline. So when
Yes.
you joined Vision Gate in February, what did you do for the next couple of months? Let's say up to June.
So, as everyone else, I mean, most of us are, we are a little bit less disciplined, and yeah, we don't have a habit of hard work, and also reading books. We don't have those habits. That's why
Right.
we were in third tier colleges in Mumbai.
Yeah.
So the first couple of months, were to absolutely get into the process and motivate yourself with the seniors and see how they prepare and then start giving in efforts. They don't yield much results at beginning, but after that they start, the proportionate results start coming. So at first you only get used to the process and get used to how all the champions of Vision Gate, how they delve into the process and then try to go into it and understanding the concept, not compromising with the, it's very easy for us to say okay मुझे समझ में आ गया है, but it's rather hard. मतलब it's usually you don't understand things until you start testing them out. So
Absolutely.
so you start compromising that habit and you have an offensive attitude towards the exam, and by the time you reach for the first couple of months this is what happens, and then you start going into the process, and then you start picking up more subjects, the one you like, the one you don't like, the ones that are most important, discrete mathematics and DSA.
Yes.
And then around 4 or 5 months later, the subjects are all, the theory part is already, you have covered most of it. You're ready for the exams. Yeah,
By
you're ready.
June, July, I think.
Yeah, by June or July, you're ready for the test series.
Yeah.
And then you should not compromise with that either. You should start it early as early as possible. And
Yeah.
then, yeah.
So basically, from February to June or July, it
Hmm.
was sort of getting the base level of concept understanding cleared, uh,
Correct.
and covering the breadth of all the subjects,
True.
solving a lot of previous year questions as well, I'm assuming.
Right. As well as working on your attitude. By far,
Wonderful.
by
Yeah.
far, the,
I think
the most important part.
that's actually a really good point. I think a lot of people maybe forget to mention that as part of their journey.
Hmm.
But along with a lot of the technical aspects that you're improving on, you
Huh.
also tend to develop better habits that help uh, you at succeeding.
Yeah, it's a competitive exam. It doesn't matter how much we know. It just matters more than how many people we know. So you have to have the offensive attitude to be able to go into a competition.
Yeah,
So I think
wonderful.
most important part of my preparation was to get offensive. The peers there are absolutely amazing. So they build it just you just go into the process and they build it like that. You don't have to work on it. Yeah.
Yourself.
Yeah.
It's because it's a group effort. You don't have to put specific like mental bandwidth into
Yeah.
that aspect of your preparation, I think.
Yes, you go into the class, everyone's better than you, so you just have to work.
Yeah. It sort of it sort of hits you right in the spot of your ego
Ah,
that I
absolutely.
need to. I
Yeah,
need to.
you'll go home and you'll worry, and then you'll come back next day and you start working on it. That's
So
what.
in this phase between February to June, on an average, how many hours do you think a day you would put into the preparation aspect, gate preparation?
So when I started when there were no test series involved, I used to study for around 4 to 5 hours a day.
Wonderful.
Yeah, consistently 4 to 5 hours a day for concept building. Apart from the lectures, let me mention that only self.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
you have lectures, and then other than that, you would invest 4 to 5 hours per
four
day.
to 5 hours daily. Yes.
And that really helped you out. You felt it, maybe after June, July, when you guys would have started the test series.
Absolutely, it did, because you have to have something, some context to start giving test series. The main
Yeah,
learning happens after that, but you have to reach a base point.
correct. So a lot of base level preparation was done.
And yeah,
And yeah, walk us through the next couple of months. Say, let's say July to November.
yes, July to number, very important. So we started giving test series. Um, First of all, getting used to the exam temperament.
Yeah,
Yeah, the very first thing, and then secondly, working on your speed, working on your accuracy. This all these things, show their true colors at around November and December. So
right,
until then, we only keep reiterating over the subjects, over the concepts. Where did I go wrong? Do I need to, search through the reference book again over some topic? Do I have to look through the internet? Do I have to see if some website has some answers? So yeah, these are all the iterative things that keeps happening. You say if you start giving test series at around June, you so most of us we start with some 22 or 30 marks. I don't think, yeah, I
right.
that's what I where I started. I started
I mean,
giving.
out of 100, you started from between 22 to 30, you used to score.
I thought my subject preparation theory was over at
Right.
around, so I can score at least 55, 60 marks. But
But when reality hits, it's not.
it's not, yeah, it's very bad. So you start at 20, 30, and yeah, devastated you are. So you talk to sir, and then you get to know that everyone starts there.
Everyone's right about there.
And yeah, it was kind of comforting when sir said, matlab, you started giving test series a little early. So
Yes.
I thought, yeah, I can improve. So I started, and slowly we got to 45, and we stuck at between 50 to 60 for around 3 months.
Yes.
Yeah, but in the end, it just skyrocketed all of a sudden around in December.
So this you must have noticed even with your peers. I think almost everyone gets stuck at the 50 to 60 mark for a really long time.
Absolutely, yes, yes, yes. Very bad range that is. It just it. A lot of people stop preparing there. So
Oh, so
that
it's also a test of your commitment, right? That are you able to push beyond this?
right, right. So sir said once, this is kind of a breaking point for people. If only if you keep going, even if you are stuck at 50 or 60, you just have to keep going until the examination day. So a lot of people stop preparing at this point. So
I
yeah,
see. Yeah,
I,
it's
yeah,
very demotivating. But I think the ones who are able to look that, you know, quote
huh,
unquote failure in the eye and
true,
work through it are the ones that actually make it the other end.
true, true. Very
So
correct.
so basically July to November was refining everything that you did in the previous 4 5 months.
Yes, absolutely. Relearning everything with the
Fresh
problem,
perspective.
yeah, fresh perspective, with the problem and answer perspective. How to think on it, yeah, how to read a question and understand what it's asking, what is not required and just there to throw you off. Yeah,
I
all
think
this.
that's really important. Once you look at a lot of PYQs, you feel some safety and some sense of familiarity. And then when new questions are thrown at you, they really test the depth of your knowledge. And
Yeah,
then sometimes it just opens up your mind in ways that you're able to look at a question through multiple ways and tackle it in multiple ways, right?
true, true, correct.
Wonderful. So that was the next few months of preparation. But now
Like,
coming to the most crucial ones,
hmm.
like November, December, January. What was your mindset rather during those months?
So I mean, you would think it is the hardest part, but I think after November ends, we were only instructed to solve PYQs.
Okay,
Instructed to solve only PYQs. So because all the tests were over, all the mock tests were around over in January, January mid, or let's say first week of January. I think the test series were over.
right.
So after that, we were only allowed to give PYQs because
Okay,
yeah, we were asked now you should only learn relevant things,
yeah,
not to expand your domain, but whatever you have, you just improve the accuracy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you worked on expanding the domain just a couple months ago, so now you can focus on relevance.
The time has gone to expand your domain. Now you have to only, yeah, you have to work with what you have. So that was a mindset from starting January.
Yeah.
And yeah, the marks are pretty good in PYQs because you have solved it. But now you get speed, and now you get a revision of your concepts, and you prepared basically for the exam gate, not the syllabus, but yeah, for the examination. And that is very important.
Okay. So when you were giving your test series, when you had to tackle newer questions,
Hmm.
maybe you came across some concepts that you were not familiar with.
True.
Maybe you came across a question, you weren't able to solve it during that time frame either because you were running out of time or you
True.
were, you know, feeling the pressure during that exam. And then you saw the solution later and you figured out, okay, it was a mixture of three different concepts, which I
Hmm.
individually knew, but I was not able to apply in that time frame.
Yeah,
So
right.
how did you analyze yourself during the test series? How did you work on it? And how did you see the improvement in your results thereafter?
Hmm. So, uh, what followed after a test series was not directly looking at the answers, but trying to solve things that that tickled your brain during the examination. So it teases you throughout the day. So as soon as the exam finishes and you sit for the analysis, you would first look at the questions that you thought during the examination was taking out your time, or you're not able to solve. So
Right,
these are basically these questions which you read, which you give 3 or 4 minutes to, and then you think, okay, this is I cannot do it right now because it's absolutely not feasible. I must look at it later. So these were the questions that you would understand during the examination that you will have to solve it later and understand, maybe find a faster way. So there are some things that very intuitively gives answer really quick, but there is also a brute force approach to solve it. You wouldn't start brute force, I mean, doing it brute force in examination.
right.
So you would think during the examination, okay, I must find a new way, faster way to do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it during the analysis. So these were the questions which were in the mind. You would sit for
Okay.
analysis. There are peers in VisionGATE. If you were not able to solve, not able to catch up, the essence of it. There were people who would analyze the paper with you, and it just comes out uh, through anyone. I mean,
Right.
there'll be a random person with some new intuition, some new perspective, and then you'll get it solved. So yeah,
Yeah.
the peer group helped very much in this part of
I've
analyzing.
interviewed about 15 people in the past month, 15 people who are VisionGate students.
Uh,
One consistent theme that I've had across all interviews was everybody really doubling down on how much their peer group was actually helpful in their
uh,
journey.
Absolutely. So yeah, you cannot do it alone. I at least I like to think so. You cannot do it alone.
Community helps out a lot.
A lot, a lot. So the decorum, the environment that RC sir has created in class, it's you cannot. It's unfathomable. Very good. Yeah.
Wonderful. So wonderful. So that's happened. And now, like you said, we've let's shift our focus back to 15th of January. So you
Hmm.
have about the next 15, 20 days.
Hmm.
So the sole focus is on keeping your mind calm,
Hmm.
to
True.
getting back to familiarity, getting back to your PYQs,
True. Yes.
and then walk us through the day of the exam for you.
Day of the examination. So I was told by RSC sir to be confident and yeah, a little aggressive. He told me to be offensive towards the examination. It's not there to bother you. You
Yeah.
can just go and conquer it. So I just went there. We made. I mean, people were in line. We made fun of yeah random people and just yeah so trying to cheer everyone up.
Yeah.
I remember yeah my peers were with me from Vision Gate, and then we went out inside and familiar with the exam temperament. We used to give tests at those time,
Ah,
which we were given the slot for during the examination day. So there was nothing foreign there, no alienated experience. Everything was very familiar. We went, sat down, and I think the clock started ticking. Read the questions, and the aptitude part was really easy. So
okay.
I skipped through it nicely. I think my preparation lagged here a bit because I did not focus much on speed accuracy.
Okay.
Because, yeah, my focus during studies were to understand the concept, and if I were unable to solve something, and even if I knew some solutions, I wouldn't use it until I felt it because
Okay. So your focus was more on correctness rather than speed and accuracy.
I think my focus more was on convincing myself why things are correct, other than just knowing how I mean they have defined correct to be. So,
Okay.
uh,
So
so
if you feel your preparation lacked there, would you say that, I mean, if you were to advise to future students, would you say that maintain a good balance of this curiosity, which you feel that you had more of, and balance it also with speed and accuracy?
definitely, it was very important. It wasn't until November I started focusing on this because my friend Anurag, you would know him. He
Everyone
suggested
does.
everyone knows Anurag. So he suggested me, okay, I mean you have been doing this for quite a time. This won't help you in GATE. Good for you, but you should start focusing on how to write the exam. I mean, what
Right.
not. So I started focusing on it, and his advice helped me really much because if I didn't listen to him, I would have been far off,
Yeah.
at least more than 5 or 600 rank, because
Yeah.
that's the way I used to solve questions. If I liked something, I would give a little too much time on it because
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah. It's actually curiosity taking the better, like,
yeah,
of
and
you. But what I would say is that if you balance it with also aspects that are actually needed in the exam, and also because you were in your third year, you would have anyway gotten time after that to deep dive.
yes, yes, true, true. So I was ready for the trade-off, but yeah, he snatched me out of that loop and asked me to prepare for the exam. This is what examination is all about.
Yeah.
So yeah, corrects your perspective. Why you're here? Yeah, you're not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have a free time and read all the books, but right now you're there to prepare for the examination. So why not focus on scoring good marks?
Okay. So yeah, you aptitude was easy for you, and then the technical questions you just
Technical question, discrete maths was very easy. Probability was a little hard. I was short on time, so that's what I wanted to say from this. That my preparation lagged short, and I was short on time. I had four more questions to solve, and yeah, in the end, I made a few mistakes. There was this operating systems question on page table. I had solved it, but it was a typo in my notepad where I was writing. So the sum in the end, when I counted the sum, it went wrong.
oh damn.
Yeah, and probability question, I was able to solve, but I was not able to click it because it was the last question I was trying to attempt. I think, yeah, I attempted 59 questions.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's absolutely. So you attempted 59 questions, and if you would have attempted more, definitely you would have been in top 50, because actually, I think post 50, 50 to 150, the ranks are differing by very, very few, like
true.
0.33 or
Correct, correct.
0.7.
I
So,
had missed three 2 mark questions.
oh
Just,
my, yeah. That
and
means it would have been insanely good, because otherwise getting 148 would have been difficult.
true, true. Yeah, but yeah, I'm happy. I just got admission, so
Yes. Actually, that's the only thing that matters in the end.
true, true.
And was IISc your sort of dream admit, or did you want to, were you sort of stuck between IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, or some other institutes?
Honestly, I didn't have it. Oh, I only had a dream to, I mean, learn from a very good professor. So when I learned from RSV sir, I think that part of me got filled somehow, and so RSV sir only helped us fantasize about ISC.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the next big step was, so my personal favorite is Stanford. So I'm trying to go there after this.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that is so, so wonderful. We can maybe, if your time, we can have a separate sort of session on what interested you in research. But
yeah.
a
Let's do.
really good sort of influence to have on students, because most of the students would want to give an MTech maybe to get better job opportunities. And there's absolutely nothing wrong in that. But
True.
there's also a research perspective, which is not as recognized as the placement perspective. And I
Right.
would love to present that perspective as well. So we
Let's
can
do it.
have a
Definitely.
session on that.
Anytime.
So let's come back to GATE. So you in March you've gotten your results, and you're basically set mentally, because you know that with the GATE score that you had, you could have been able to apply in your fourth year as well.
Hmm.
At that point, did you think कि fourth year में मैं ज्यादा मेहनत करके इससे भी बेहतर rank लाऊंगा, or did you shift your focus to other things which piqued your interest even further?
Hmm. So after examination immediately I thought the paper went decent. So I was in this perplexity to until the answer key was out, or the results were out later, but until the answer key was out I was very perplexed. I didn't do anything, just waited for it. So I wanted to know how to plan my next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, so after the answer key, so sir suggested, okay, this is around the rank you'll get. He said you'll get around 140 to 150. Yeah, he said
Oh,
it.
wow, that's spot on.
That's what he said, and I believed him because yeah, you have to believe him.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of experience, years of experience under his, under the hood, and he is spot on with stuff like this.
True. And he said me, this will be your rank, and I said, okay, decent. I think I'll get what I want. I started looking towards TIFR, but
Okay.
yeah, but the theory didn't interest me much there because I
Re-
thought of doing something more practical.
Uh,
And so after the answer key was out, I think I decided to not prepare for gate another year.
so you would have, oh, sorry. So third year students are not allowed to give TIFR. So anyway, the previous December you would not have given it.
No, I did
You
not.
would have gotten a chance in your fourth year to give it.
Yes.
Okay. So once you knew that you were going to get a really good rank, you
Hmm.
decided that, okay, so I can use this next year, so I'll shift my focus.
True.
So what did you do post March or April in
Huh.
20?
So I started learning linear algebra and probability theory from
Okay.
basic types of distributions. And even though I knew, I wanted to know what other professors, how they think, how they write in books, who thought of it first, and how did they come to this small formulas.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a story, so I want to know the stories. I started learning probability theory, then linear algebra. I understood what the geometrical perspective of things were, and yeah, after this I think I was ready to take up machine learning. So I did this computer vision course from Stanford online through YouTube, and then learned about LLMs through Andre
Oh, yeah,
Karpati.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He is a
yeah,
legendary name,
true.
legendary guy.
Yeah, his codes are also very clear. He works on projects open source projects, and yeah, big community there. So that's what interested me, and I started looking for internships. I mailed a lot of professors from Madras, from IIT Bombay, from IISc Bangalore, and IIT Delhi, and I only got responses from professors from IISc Bangalore.
I
And
see.
yeah, I got three responses, and so I joined one of them.
Okay, as I understand it, from April through June or July,
Hmm.
you focused on ML deep dive
True.
and also on applying to all of these different professors at the best institutes in the country.
Correct. Yeah, making projects as well.
So, at what point would you have mailed the professors approximately?
I did them at around, I think, August first week.
August first week, and like were the responses fairly immediate?
Yeah, they were immediate. Around 2 to 3 days it took, not more than that.
Okay, so and then you sort of had a one-to-one correspondence with the professor, and did you pick one of them or did they sort of pick you?
No, no. They didn't know I had applied to other places. So
Yes.
I did to um, Professor Arjun Jain from
Yeah.
CDS department, and there was another Professor Seela Mantulash, I guess, from Space department.
Okay.
And I couldn't remember the third one's name.
Okay. And you did your internship under Professor Arjun
Arjun.
Jain.
Yes, yes.
So he's from the CDS department. So
He's
I
from the
think
CS department. Yeah.
so you mailed him, he responded, and then you would have had a correspondence.
Yeah,
Post
we had an interview from a student, and yeah, and then he asked me to come to Bangalore for the internship, and then I did.
so the internship was from what time to what time?
I think August. I think it was from August 10th something to September, October, November. Yeah, until the
November.
November end.
August to November, you were in Bangalore interning with a professor at IISc under his startup.
Yes,
And sorry, what was the startup called?
it was named fastcode.ai. It's in Bangalore. They have office at around Whitefield. We used to go to WeWork, and
We work and then work.
yeah,
So when you were interning, I'm sure this must have been during your seventh semester. So how did you convince your college folks at the college to sort of let you go for the internship?
I submitted them the offer letter, and they let me go.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that was not an issue. So did you just have to come back for the exams?
I did. I used to. The reason why I had to leave the internship early, it was supposed to be for 6 months, is because I had to come for the examination, and then I was not allowed to go because we had some programs in college that were compulsory to attend. So yeah, we couldn't. I couldn't just go back. So I had to forfeit it 2 months
Okay.
earlier. Yeah.
So how enriching was this experience? What did you work on and did it interest you?
It did interest me. I was working on computer vision, template matching, object detection, segmentation, and
Okay.
pre-processing of image inputs, working with pixels for the first time, and yeah, just basic GPU programming and writing PyTorch APIs. Cool stuff. Just things that I never knew it could be done through machine learning. I got to implement it there. All the infra they had, and you just had to implement it through your ideas. There were very good peers. They were Some of them were from Max Planck, some of them were from
Nice.
um, Germany, some institutes, and some of them from ISc as well. Yeah, and some of them were working professionals since 12 years. They helped a lot, and very beautiful experience. The professor himself is very he always keeps on learning, that guy.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah, very good peer group there.
So how steep was the learning curve and how deeply mathematically involved was this role?
It was not much mathematically involved. There wasn't much research work that you had to do from ground. You only had to, because there were client projects, you had to complete them anyhow. So just use open source tools, and I mean, yeah, if you can get some uh, quick workarounds through your mathematical skills, then you can use it. I did use during template matching, but you cannot start something from ground up and work there. You just had to use open source tools and whatever they gave you.
I
So
see.
yeah, that
But
was
it was
more.
still an enriching experience nonetheless.
Absolutely, yes. You get to know how things work even after you use it abstractly. So
Yeah.
that's what helped me there.
So that was your first internship.
Yeah.
You're managing through your seventh semester. And
Hmm.
then your second internship was again a computer vision internship, I'm assuming, at Fuzzy Notes.
True, true. Yes.
So this was this out of Bangalore as well?
No, no. This was a Sydney-based startup, and yeah, the I think the team members are from one of them is from Sydney, Australia. The
Okay.
other one is from Chandigarh, I guess, and the third one is in Manali. And
How did you come across this company?
a friend referred to me there because they wanted someone who can research in computer vision. This
Okay.
was this was more research oriented and maths oriented than the last one.
So how were you able to apply all of the mathematical understanding that you had deepened after your gate?
So I'll tell you one of the problems that I faced and we solved. So when you try to create deep fakes of things,
Okay.
you would want to have a 3D face model of a 2D video.
Right.
Yeah, when you have a 3D face model, you would want to deform it around the lips, deform it around the eyes, so that you
Mhm.
can overlap any incoming video onto the target video. So you need some kind of space that you can manipulate so that you can make it speak, you can make it do expressions. So this deformable space is there is this model called 3D morphable model.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was we created it using, so we were able to use it using what do you call it, PCA, principal
Okay.
component. Yeah, so you just take the average, you just pick out the average face model from the distribution, and then
Hmm.
move around the deviation to get different faces. You sample from it. So this was one of the things that I got to implement directly.
So this was one of your aha moments.
Yeah, one of my aha moments, and I literally messaged a lot of my friends saying I got to apply PCA. Yeah. This was the
Oh my
time
God.
I came back to PCA trying to understand what it actually is. Turns out I did not understand what PCA was.
Until you actually
Right.
got to see it live in action.
Yeah, right. So I had to reiterate over things, over what PCA is. I talked to some people from IISc, some people from IIT, and then I went to Chat GPT and just asked it some questions, twisting things, and then I understood, okay, what PCA is doing and how I can use it. So yeah,
That is so, so wonderful.
yeah.
So you really just doubled down and just did a deep dive in all things ML in your fourth year then.
True, I did. I did. Yeah. ML. So this was the time this was my last internship that I did. That was related to ML. After this, the even this internship ended badly because of the examinations.
So
Yeah.
ended badly as in you weren't able to spend more time on it, right? That's what.
I wasn't able to spend more time. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ended badly.
So you did an internship at Fuzzy Notes from at what point to what point?
This was overlapping. I guess this started in October, November, December, January. Yes.
Okay, so
Um,
October to February, I think, was the timeline. So
True.
you did two CV internships. One was more on the practical side, one was more on the research side.
True.
And then you did a third internship, which is still ongoing, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
It started in December as soon as the fast food internship ended.
So this was a quant,
This
uh, this was a
wanted
quant company. So
True.
what is this company called?
This it is called Orim Advisors. It's in Mumbai. They are SEBI registered advisors who are portfolio management firms. They take up money from people and they invest in stock market, giving them returns.
How did you get in touch with them? Like, how were you able to get the opportunity? How much does it align with what you want to do?
It does not align with what I wanted to do at first
Okay,
because yeah. But I found it through a friend.
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
So they wanted someone to understand ML tasks, and these quant models, they require good mathematics, and they wanted someone to understand them and explain it to their people intuitively, and
okay.
hopefully build new tools that can automate the trading thing. So yeah, so this was entirely new thing for me. So
So how steep was the learning curve in all of these different internships, right? Like, was it a very steep learning curve? You had to learn a lot on the go and really fast and implement it?
huh, the I think I wouldn't comment on the curriculum because it is very subjective to comment on that.
Yeah.
My second internship was hardest if you talk in terms of curriculum, academia. So I
Right.
had to, yeah, I had to get used to a lot of new stuff, a lot of new mathematics, a lot of new PyTorch things, and it was very exhausting. In
Right.
terms of curriculum, that was the hardest one. But in terms of getting the attitude correct of what your company expects from you, why were you hired, and how and at what pace do you need to go. I think the recent one that I'm in is was the most enlightening for me.
I see.
This was again when I came here. I came. It's like I came back to fast code. Everything was very fast. You have to use open source tool, and you just have to build the project and deliver it, containerize it. That's what I didn't even like containerization, but I had to learn it when I am here. ML ops and DevOps didn't like it. AWS, I didn't like it. I didn't want it to use it, but now you have to because
But you had to.
I had to. So these are the new things that I learned, the tools when I started doing internship in
So I think
Orient.
there are two layers of how this thing is wonderful.
Hmm.
One is that okay, you were done with Gate, you were able to focus on other things that you wanted to do other than Gate, I'm sure. But what I love about this is you scored not one, not two, but three internships, which is also in its right amazing, but also fine. Not once did you say that you got hired because of DSA.
I got hired because of DSA. Oh,
No,
hmm.
like you didn't have to do coding tests for either of those three things, right? Did you?
I had to explain my projects
Okay.
in the first two internships, not in the third one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you talk about DSA, no DSA. I was asked a lot of PyTorch APIs,
I
however.
see.
Uh, no
So
DSA.
the projects that you'd worked on, it was the stuff that you did in your second and your third year as part of your college curriculum.
No. It was they were the only projects I started after gate examination when I started.
Oh, okay. So you had to explain the. So actually, all of the interview processes for your sort of internships were very much curated to what you will be doing in the internship and not a generalized DSA sort of coding thing,
Yeah, no, because yeah, exactly, because I was not applying for any product.
SD sort of role.
No, not those. So that's why I was lucky. I think if even if DFC was asked, I don't know. I'd never gone down that road.
No, of course, I'm sure like gate level DSA you would have done really well, but I think what you mean is maybe the lead code style DSA is something that definitely needs practice.
Needs practice definitely. 2 or 3 months you need to give in.
So is it something that's on your mind that you want to do at some point, or you are truly just focused on the research aspects of things, like you want to deep dive more on the ML side of things?
Hmm. I think even if I'm doing some new, so this is how I like to think about it. Even if I'm trying to do something new in terms of academia, like I'm trying to enroll into a master's program. I thought when I was in third year, I thought I should be able to clear gate this year, and then I should take 1 year to understand what problems there are,
Yeah,
what problems I would like to solve. So
correct.
yeah, 1 year I took to the internship, understanding things, and then I'm in the master's program. Similarly, I would want to be in the industry after I do masters. Let's say somewhere where they solve real problems, and then I would like to enroll into a PhD.
I
So,
see. Okay,
huh,
so PhD is very much on the rocks still.
so Stanford PhD is definitely on my mind. If I get the chance, I'll try my best.
You certainly can. I mean, I'm sure you must have heard about Sanket Purandare.
I do, yes. I've
Personally, he was the reason that I gave GATE another shot.
oh,
Otherwise, I would have taken either the Triple IT Hyderabad or ISI offer that I had, but he just truly, truly inspired me to push for better. He got not one, not two, but three admits, of which he chose Harvard.
oh
And
wow.
then of course, at Harvard, he just finished his PhD very, very recently,
Yeah.
and did a wonderful job there. Worked at Meta for about 2.5 years on and off as a visiting researcher. So obviously, the amount of opportunities you get there are amazing. So if he can do it, so can you. And one thing that you have in common with him is that he was also an IISc alum.
Oh,
So it's definitely possible someone took a very similar path and got there. And
yeah.
Yeah, so post his 2 year MTech program, he did an internship at Microsoft Research and then went to Harvard. So
Mhm.
I am waiting for your Stanford offer letter, and then we'll have another talk then
Oh, will do definitely.
where
Yeah,
you'll
you
explain.
bragging about your friend. You yourself has a decent timeline of what you did after Gate. So, yeah, congratulations to you as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So then now that all of this is done, right? Now I think in a month or two, you'll be joining IISc.
Yes,
So what
finally.
are your, so I think you have
Mhm.
about a month and a half at best, let's say just about a month. So what is it going to be your area of focus now? Like, are you going to just chill? Because the last 2 years you've just sort of been at it continuously, or are you going to spend time with family because you're going to have to move to Bangalore now, or are you going to prepare for something like mentally or technically before you go to ISC? How are you going to utilize this time?
अभी तो पहले फीस के पैसे जमा करना है पहला तो so first focus is that
The
just
ISC's fees is the most like generous one.
yeah, exactly. They are very flexible with the fees and
Yeah,
it's also very generous. So no,
yeah,
no, that was just a
I
joke.
know.
Yeah, I think my most main focus would be to wrap up my current internship, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. So
that's.
that's a primary focus, and obviously, like I think you made it abundantly clear that ML is what you want to focus on even after going there.
I'm not sure. I must have done that in the past year, but I'm not sure. I would definitely go there and explore systems because I haven't done that. It's not fair to just dive into
Just
ML and
write something off without even exploring it.
exploring it. Yeah, so I would
ISC has some of the best system courses actually.
right, exactly. I've heard that a lot of times. So that's why I'm leaning towards system. I'll at least give it one semester, see if it interests me.
You should.
Hmm.
Vedant Balasubramanian, who's also a VisionGATE alumni, got AIR of 3 last year.
Hmm.
With you, right? Like
Yeah,
you must
right.
have been
With
with him.
the same year we had prepared.
So he is at ISC. So when he went, his initial area of focus was that I want to just do a lot of ML. But then
Hmm.
when he gave systems a chance, he realized that there's also a lot of interesting stuff going on there.
Yeah.
So currently he's interning at Nutanix, where he's working at the intersection of systems and ML, which
Hmm.
incidentally is also what Sanket Purandare worked on. An intersection of systems and ML may not be the same intersection as this, but
Hmm.
there is a lot of research going on there as well. There are aspects of systems which can be exploited or utilized for ML algorithms as well.
Yeah,
So you never know.
yeah. I'm preparing for yeah, some kind of paper like flash attention. Maybe we'll get a
Nice.
chance. Yeah.
Fingers crossed again. Waiting
Again.
for all of the amazing things you are yet to discover,
Yep.
because your story is genuinely different from most of the people I've spoken to. It is very, very refreshing and enlightening. And what I love the most is how you've utilized your time, right? So beautifully. You started early on. And I think that that really helped you out because it gave you the freedom to do whatever you wanted to in your fourth year.
Definitely. Yep. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
So I guess one of the questions I was going to ask is what are your long term goals after ISC? But to me, that's clear. I guess you've already said, right, that the eventual goal is research. Like you want to
Yeah.
get a PhD.
I would really love to, but yeah, let's see how things take, how
Yeah.
time takes the course.
And finally, like I said, because your story is so different, um, what advice do you have to students who are currently preparing? And
Mhm.
like specifically, if I have to ask you, um, for a lot of people, I think the advice will be a little bit one dimensional because it will be catered only to specifically to gate preparation.
Mhm.
But you've sort of had an all round development in the past 2 years. So your advice can be multifaceted, but
Mhm.
in general, for instance, like you said, because you started earlier, it gave you an advantage, significant advantage over others.
Yes.
So, in that realm, what would you advise to students? Mm, you some of the advice can be like, catered to gate, and some of it can also be like general advice.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah. Thank you. So I think what I've realized is even though I can comment on how to do atomic things, I will choose not to, and there's a reason because I think the most important thing throughout anything that we do is working on the attitude.
right.
Yeah. So again, I think if we're pursuing something, we should be offensive. I mean, we should have an offensive attitude towards it. Not,
Mhm.
yeah, offensive. By offensive, I mean there's two type of approach you can take. One could be a defensive one, where you let it take over, and the second could be offensive, and you try to control the your.
Thing that challenges
Yeah. So even if you are in gate, you should definitely have the attitude of winning it and challenging it and not letting it bother you. Same in any concept, in any part of your journey, you should have definitely work on your attitude first. I think that's what the most general. I can definitely comment on atomic habits. If you're sitting for study, you should first understand the concept, then solve PYQ. But yeah, I don't think much people will benefit from it because everyone has their own way of
method
studying.
of doing things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true. Different methods people have. So I think for me, it's pointless to comment on that because people had scored very good marks than me. You can definitely ask these questions to them,
yeah,
the students who are expecting an answer. So I think from for me, the best advice was जो RSV सर ने दिया था कि you just work on your attitude.
right.
Yeah, try to be offensive. Try to get more on the front foot when you play the game. I think that was the most helpful thing.
And in terms of, for instance, if there's somebody in their first year or
Mhm.
second year who's watching this video, would you would you advise them, or would you think that like starting earlier is actually something that you'll benefit out of?
This I think this could be the best path that could come out of a third tier engineering college because everything else has a lot of ifs and buts. You can get a placement, you might not get a placement. The paradigm shift is very fast.
Yeah,
So yeah, so I think this can be very deterministic and successful path if you take start early preparation for the gate. And once you have that, you can also choose not to join an institution. Just work on your skills and get a nice placement, and gate will definitely help you in any way, in
yeah,
any domain that we prepare for. Let's say you cleared gate in your third year, then you can just pick up anything that you want in computer science domain, and gate will definitely help you some of the other way.
yeah,
And yeah, this could be the best thing that can come out of a third year engineering college, gate. I think
yeah.
anyone who's expecting something fruitful from this interview, I think this is a no brainer. If you are very early in the gate, just go for it.
Wonderful. It was so amazing talking to you, Numair.
Thank you so much.
Like I said, it's a very different kind of interview that I've got
Likewise,
on a video.
likewise. You were your questions are also very uh, spot on. And thank you so much for joining Vision Gate. I didn't get a chance to congratulate you.
Thank you
You're doing
so
a very
much.
big service to us because we just thought who'll continue the legacy for our RSV sir, but then there you were. Yeah, thank you so
That
much.
is a very tough spot to continue, though, because the legacy that he's leaving behind is unmatched. And it is never like nobody's ever going to be able to compete with him. But what I definitely do want to do is amplify his reach, because a lot of students have greatly benefited from his knowledge, but there are a lot more yet that are left to benefit from him.
True.
And in addition to that, of course, because we're also starting with the DA course, so we also want to expand our horizons, and we want to give the best possible quality of gate coaching, and we want to make it as multifaceted as possible. So we've also recently launched our test series,
Yeah.
and I myself am an IIT Bombay alum, and I am very deeply involved in making those questions. So I'm really excited for people to give that as well. But thank you so very much for joining us, Numair.
You're
Lots
most.
of people are going to benefit from looking at this, and I hope that it inspires them to get up and take action and just be better.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And to our audience, thank you for tuning in. If you liked content like this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Please tell us in the comments below what are the type of videos that actually interest you, so we can bring you more of that content. And thank you. Bye bye Numer.
Bye bye.
Can we stop the recording, sir?
चलेगा